What's your favorite Marvel movie? What's that? Thor, Love and Thunder? Well, if you really want to rank it up that high, let's pull all the Marvel movies in a tier list and see where they place. But before that, we gotta have a few ground rules. We're only gonna rank the mainline MCU movies. Those are the only ones I've really gone through. We're not talking about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. We ain't talking about Morbius. We ain't talking about Spider-Man 3, even though it's great. Rule 2, I'm going to take into consideration all viewpoints. My viewpoint, the general opinion of everyone, and the cultural impact. Is your grandma talking about the Eternals? Is your dog talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp? Alright. Viewpoint number 3. Also, those points of consideration, they have varying amounts attached to them. The music is Star Fox. There's a character in the MCU named Star Fox. I thought that was a fun tie-in. Also, I'm not a movie critic, Martin Scorsese. So, I just wanted to throw that in there. All my points are my own. And, please don't, destroy me on the spot. Don't vaporize me. Because I like a bad movie. And I'm going to, because we're going to start with the multiverse side. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way to Endgame. So Deadpool Wolverine, people are calling it just action and cameos. To be frank, I love cameos. I loved Space Jam. Space Jam 2, people just destroyed that movie. I thought it was just alright. Ready Player One, I love that movie. People also didn't like that movie. People said Deadpool and Wolverine had too many cameos. I feel like there's just a handful of cameos in Deadpool Wolverine. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan, or I wasn't a big fan of the Nice Pool and Dog Pool and all the, I guess, multiple Deadpool variants, and how they're just hanging out at that one scene. But then when the fight started, I was like, oh, alright, whatever. But still a top movie for me. It was a nice goodbye to the Fox movies. Human Torch. Again, this is a hot take. I'm warning you, this is going to be a hot take tier list. Apparently Channing Tatum was going to be in X-Men. I haven't watched any of the X-Men movies, so it's neither here nor there. But I wasn't a big fan of Channing Tatum's voice. But, he finally got his role. The Marvels. Now, I like the concept of them all switching. Professor Marvel, question mark? Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. Other than that, I feel like not a lot happened in this movie. I feel like I didn't say it, but I have not watched any Marvel show. So, I don't know what's going on with Kamala Khan. Other than this movie, I feel like they just went to a dancing planet, and that was it. That was practically the whole movie. They switched a lot. I feel like if they had the switching outside the movie, or like brought it past this movie would be like up here. Like, imagine them bringing that into an Avengers movie, or giving that power to the three Peters somehow. I'm not sure, but that would have been awesome. And then they left. I'm gonna call her Professor Marvel in like an alternate X-Men universe. That was a weird post credits. I'm gonna put it. To be honest, I don't think any of the MCU movies are like that bad, but that one's like kind of forgettable, honestly. Also, I hate when people say, "Oh man, you can just skip this movie." They said that with Thor and the Dark World, and then Infinity War came out, and that tied in. What's this one? Guardians 3. Guardians 3, I liked. It did a lot with Rocky Raccoon. Adam Warlock was fun. People's general perception. So far, I haven't seen much about... Because I was avoiding spoilers, I watched all these fairly recently. Even the ones I'd seen years ago, I made myself rewatch them. People loved this movie, and now I'm seeing opinions that they're like, "Oh, I ain't a big fan of how they treat Adam Warlock. You know, he's supposed to be like a religious figure." There was a lot of religious imagery in this, but they turned him into like kind of a whiny figure. There's Counter Earth. That was really good. Well represented. The High Evolutionary, I think it is. They're more of a Thor. This is really a Thor story. Yeah, I watch Comic YouTube. And Comic Tube, if you will. And, which kind of ties into how Thor was on the Guardians team. And where's your pride? Love and Thunder. And then he left, which kind of weird, I guess. Not a big fan of the new Guardians that form at the end. And they didn't really give like music like a own playlist like they did in Guardians 1 and 2, or Volume 1, Volume 2. But it was very more emotional. I wasn't expecting like animals with robotic appendages. I will put that here. Quantumania. Alright, this is what you guys came for. Honestly, big fan of Ant-Man. Really big fan of Hope. Is that her name? Janet? Janet Hope? Which one is it? I say I'm a big fan, and then I say, oh man, Janet Van Dyne. Which one? Okay, it is Hope. Okay, Hope. Big fan of Hope. I love her. Her haircut in this movie, kinda bad. Cassie. They make her out to be more of a scientist in this one. It kind of comes out of nowhere. I'm like, alright, I'll roll with it. The last we saw of her was had to be in Endgame. I'm like, okay. You know, everyone in the MCU, I guess, is, you know, you gotta give them credit. You know, she's living with Scott, or not Scott. I guess Scott, Hank, and Hope and Janet. You know, scientist people. That has to have rubbed off a little bit. And then they go to the quantum realm and they meet Kang. And it's like, okay, if there were to be hiding a villain somewhere that's as bad as Thanos, where would they put him? I guess the quantum realm. People's big gripes with this movie, or if Kang is as bad as Thanos, or worse, how did he lose to a bunch of ants? Now, I'll defend against that and say, in the beginning of the movie, it was like super smart ants, right? And he didn't even lose. He got overwhelmed, and then he came back, and then he got in like a fist fight, and then he lost, right? Scott barely got away. Now the stuff with Bill Murray, I'll give you. I'm not sure why Bill Murray was in this. People were throwing around like, if this was like if Scott returned to the right world, and if he could have returned to like an alternate world, then that would have made this a better movie. I think if he returned to a better or a different world, this would be moved up to astonishing tier, but right now it sits here. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's, if Kang was still the villain, I think it would. Alright, I forgot all about MODOK. MODOK people did not like because the CGI. And they do poke fun at MODOK and his not design, but his looks. They're like, why do you look like that? Would you say that's lampshading? I don't know. That's gonna be my defense for MODOK. They made him look like that, and they lampshade it a bit. The heist also is not the best, because in every Ant-Man movie, he needs to steal something, and in this, he needs to steal something, and it's not. It's like a one and done. He goes in there, he like fights with his mind. It could have been better. It's a good Ant-Man movie, but could have been better, right? Needs more human elements. If that makes sense. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. I don't know. I haven't heard much discussion about this. I know people don't vibe with Ironheart. I don't know. But I think it's a good movie. A good send-off to T'Challa and to Chadwick Boseman. I could even go like something like that. I don't know. I like Namor. The Queen, I forget her name, but she does like a really good performance. You gotta give them credit. You know, after Chadwick died, after he passed away, like, they were put in a really tough position. And they're like, alright, how are they going to fill in for the next Black Panther? They only have like limited options. And they went to, Shuri, and Shuri, I think, takes on the mantle well, almost like a tech genius like Iron Man, but also like the strength aspect of Captain America in Black Panther. If that makes any sense, I don't know. I don't really think of Iron Man as being tough. Thor: Love and Thunder. People have problems with this movie in that they do not like the CGI floating head. Now, you can make the case. This is my case for that. It is, what's his name? Axel. Yeah, I know the CGI floating head from Thor: Love and Thunder's, the kid's name, is the son of Heimdall, and he's trying out like his magic projection for like the first time. That's my only excuse for that. I don't know. Other than that, I'm not okay. My big gripe with this movie, honestly, is not even from the. I guess it's from the movie. The end credits. Post-credit scene is when Zeus, he's shot through with the bolt, and you're like, oh man, you're not dead. Why are you still alive? And he's like, I bring forth Hercules. And it's like, bro, we don't care about Hercules. And Hercules still hasn't shown. Look at all these movies, and Hercules hasn't shown up. And I don't care about Hercules, honestly. And just seeing that design, and it's like all these channels and websites are like, top 15 things, top 15 post-credit scenes that Marvel wants you to forget about. I'm like, they're gonna do it, and I don't care about Hercules, honestly. Zeus should have just died. Also, like, the entire trip of Love and Thunder kind of felt short. Like, they go to pick up Thor. He leaves the Guardians, and then all the kids get kidnapped, and they're like, alright, let's go to the gods. And then they go to the gods, and then they fight the gods, and then it's like, well, let's take the Thunderbolt, since we're not getting help. And then they just go straight there. I feel like more things need to happen, or like more conflict. Even though it was like it's supposed to be like a comedy. I don't know. I like Jane Foster, Lady Thor, but it's a mixed bag. People don't. They hate it. I wouldn't put it in infamous. I would put it. I really liked it. My first watch. And my second watch, I did not like it as much. I would put it above Quantumania. Like right here. Multiverse of Madness. I am a big Doctor Strange head. I am no stranger to Doctor Strange. I really like this movie. It came out on Mother's Day, and the initials are Mom. You gotta give them credit for that. You have to. Now, again, I've not seen any Marvel show. Any Marvel show. That includes WandaVision. I hear WandaVision was critically acclaimed across the board. But just seeing this, again, we had not seen Wanda. Is that Eternals? I'm guessing that's Eternals. Since Endgame. So, she shows up in Endgame and she's fighting Thanos, and Thanos is like, I don't even know who you are. And then, in this, she wants to create children from portals. And it's like, other than that, like, I can you can kind of surmise that she went crazy from having the Darkhold, you know, put the pieces of that together in your head. And then the other scene, oh man, this causes me physical pain every time I see it. And it's like, Wanda, Black Bolt can just annihilate you with a single word from his mouth. And then she goes, what mouth? And then he has no mouth. And people just hate that scene because Black Bolt did not annihilate Scarlet Witch with a single word from his mouth instantly. They wanted Reed Richards, the smartest man alive, to not show any empathy, no compassion. I'm like, bro, he's the smartest man alive. He's got to show a little restraint. You know? Alright, No Way Home. You know me. I'm a sucker for cameos. You should have known this. But again, I'm no stranger to Doctor Strange. I said that before. This has Doctor Strange, it has Spider-Man, it has all the Spider-Men. And Green Goblin. Even has Venom. You know, the only thing I didn't like, okay, get a little nitpicky. Topher Grace Venom was not in this. You know, that's how you know I'm a true contrarian. Topher Grace Venom was on it. And I like that Venom better than Sony Venom because he just looks like he just looks slimy. That Venom ooze looks more slimier. TBH. Topher Grace was there, but he was just like a cameraman. People don't like it because they say Doctor Strange seems out of character. They say there's too many cameos, you know, blah. Honestly, it brings Spider-Man back to street level. We've wanted Tobey Maguire back in like anything for so long. Andrew Garfield gets a second chance. I feel like it does a lot of good things. Eternals. Again, you gotta hear me out. Let me cook. Oh, where do I start? I liked... How do I start on this? I liked the Eternals making a lot of things for humans at the beginning. They're like, alright, I made, I don't know, like a car. And they're like, I made like a wheat plow. I made this. I made that. I like that aspect, like the rewritten history by the Eternals. I like that aspect. And then all of a sudden, it turned into like, alright, now we need to find each of the Eternals all over the Earth. And that turned into the rest of the movie. And that was the point where I was like, bro. Like, I liked each... Hold on, I liked a good majority of the Eternals. I thought it was interesting how each of them had, like, one power, and then I believe it was... I gotta look this up. Icarus, who had, like, two, and he was, like... super Homelander, and he tried to like kill them all. Yeah. And then by the end, like the giant Tiamat comes out of the ocean, and then the YouTube channels are like, top 15 things Marvel wants you to forget about. And then at the end credits, that one guy who's the girl's boyfriend, he turned out to be Black Knight. And they haven't done anything with that. I thought that was really interesting. If they would have continued on and made like Eternals 2, I think that would have been interesting. A team up situation, and Sprite lost her powers. I think all that would have been really interesting. More interesting than Eternals 1. And Blade was in the post-credits. I think it goes here. But I think in Eternals 2 would have went up here. Honestly. Shang-Chi surprised me a lot. By how much nobody was talking about it. It was like the sleeper hit. It changed everything up. Instead of him having the 10 rings, his father had the 10 rings and he had to like fight him for it. And then I'm kind of disappointed his father died, because his father could have been like a great mentor, like Scott Lang and Hank Pym. That would have been awesome. At one point, he was supposed to be like crucial part of Kang Dynasty. I really want him to be in the next Avengers, no matter what. He goes. Also, his sister leads the 10 Rings, and the Mandalorian is a part of this. Might be here. Now, Black Widow. Alright. Won the video with this. Oh no, we got this one. Okay, Black Widow. This video, or this movie should have been made way long ago. Like Ultron times. And honestly, not even that. I think it should have been about something totally different. I think it should have been at her time at the Academy. That's what I was looking forward to. I was really looking forward to Black Widow. I was like, we get to see her training on missions. I can't tell you how much I was looking forward to Black Widow. And then it was like her trying to take down the establishment, I was like, brother, I wanted to see her on the job. Apparently people don't like Taskmaster. I just don't like the idea of Taskmaster. My whole thing with apparently Taskmaster's a really fan-beloved character, or villain, rather. I thought it was a neat twist. But my whole thing with Taskmaster is when Taskmaster copies your powers, like if Taskmaster copied Black Widow, for example, there would be proficient in guns or like nimble or whatever. But when Taskmaster copies Captain America, they have a Captain America shield. I'm like, bro. I'm like, can you do something else with Captain America? That's my one pet peeve. Like, if you copy someone, like, if they copied Hawkeye, why do you have to give them Hawkeye's arrows? Like, if they magically get arrows from nowhere, it's like, ugh. Ew. Black Widow. Honestly, I liked it. I liked Eternals better than Black Widow. What was it? I think the first half of Black Widow I liked, or the first quarter, and then the middle I didn't like, and then what's his name from Stranger Things came in, and he like saved all of the rest of Black Widow. Okay, Far From Home, and then we'll end it. I loved Far From Home. I forgot to mention this in Endgame, but when Endgame starts and Mysterio's like, Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker. Yo, that just sets the mood. That's why it's S tier. Far From Home, people don't like it because it's like, why would Tony Stark give the glasses to Peter Parker? And it's like, brother. That's what you're focusing on? I guess he could have given the glasses to Pepper. But Pepper's already dealing with everything else. Yeah, he giving them to Happy. I know that. I see, their relationship as like a mentor type thing. I can see it, I guess. But I really like the environments in this movie. Give me waterways for days. Pokemon Heroes. That's the perfect place to set any movie, any show, anything. That's an easy place or easy setting to win me over. I would put this up I do like Wakanda Forever. I'd put it up there. Alright. Look at this. Alright, so that's my ranking of the Multiverse Saga so far. What do you think? We have 2 S tiers, No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine, and 1 Uncanny tier of the Marvels. What do you think so far? Do you agree? I bet you don't. Let me know in the comments down below. And join in next time where we do more of these. Bye bye.